And, I was kind of locked into some Jolusional debates yesterday
Mhm.
on Twitter with some folks just about the franchise, about the team, about Ja. And then almost like the bat signal goes up, we get a McMahon article that comes out on ESPN.com, Evan, that we got to talk about right now. Yes, sir. Over on
Yep.
ESPN.com, Tim McMahon released yet another article about Ja Morant, talking about Ja's kind of, I guess, like instead of a meteoric rise where it goes up, we've had a cataclysmic fall off the
Yeah.
cliff with Ja Morant in Memphis, Evan. And I had a chance to talk with you about it. But, it looks like the Ja Morant era, for all intents and purposes, are going to be, is parting ways with Memphis. What has been kind of your take on that? How it's been handled? What direction you see this going? Like, I want to get your thoughts on that before we dive into the article.
Yeah, overall, my word is frustrating. My word is frustrating. I hate that, of course, over these 7 years, that Ja Morant has been our first superstar, and just over the past 3 years, we've had this up and down relationship with him, with all the, with no point of rehashing history of everything that has happened.
Sure.
So the first word is frustrating. We have our first superstar that embraces the city, and the city embraces them. So you hate to see it kind of going downhill. When it comes to just this year, I haven't loved how the franchise has been handling it, especially the second half of the season. Of course, his last game with us against the Hawks in mid to late January. I can't remember the exact date. And then we shut him down. And then we heard the reports that we shopped him at the deadline, couldn't get the deadline happen. Then reports that we didn't allow him to do the end of the season jersey giveaway. So I thought that was a little too far. Like, I understand the franchise is clearly going into a direction,
Yeah.
but he's still on the roster. He's still on the check.
Sure.
So you still want to give that respect to a guy that has given his blood, sweat, and tears to this organization. Yes, he has not handled everything within the organization great, but he's still a person on your roster that still embraced the city. So I haven't liked how the franchise has really handled the second half of the season. But at the end of the day, it's a business. So I am for the Grizzlies going in a different direction. Hopefully, we get a high draft pick in this upcoming draft so we can give the keys to the next guy that comes in. But I'm for it. That doesn't mean I've loved how the franchise has
Sure.
handled it the second half of the year.
And I think that that's a good place to be. There's mistakes on both parts. The problem is if you
100%.
try and go out and say on X or wherever you get your social medias, and just basically say that, hey, listen, this whole thing has not been handled well. Neither side has been perfect, but Ja Morant is to blame for a lot of what's going on with this. You're painted as a Zach Kleiman apologist, or the Grizzlies are paying you. And I'm like, Kenny, where's my check, dog? I have yet to get paid by the Grizzlies to say this stuff. But I mean, you're right. The franchise did do some things different. We'll never know like what truly
Yeah.
went on behind the scenes, whether like who's to blame, what communication. We'll never truly know. I also can see the franchise not wanting to put him on a mic and saying, saying live with it. Like, y'all got to worry. I don't care how y'all feel. Y'all got to worry about how I feel.
Yeah.
And Ja has proven to be like the anti Marshawn Lynch. I said this yesterday or the other day on the Two Buck Sports Show. We're like, Marshawn Lynch could get away with being short, being, distant, being weird on the microphone because he was out producing his ass off for the Seahawks and taking to the Super Bowl and running over people and being beast mode.
Yeah.
Ja Morant's doing the same things and then wearing the same type clothes, albeit more expensive than I'm wearing, to the Grizzlies games. Like, we have basically the same view of a Grizzlies game as a spectator. And so I kind of see both sides of it. And I'm kind of nervous to log on to twitter.com today and spend much time on there, Evan, because we know what the Jolusionals are going to do, right? They're going to spin this article and just say, oh, this is McMahon, hating on Memphis and hating on Ja. Ja's innocent, blah, 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 especially on the heels of what Scoop B said when Scoop B came out with the article saying that Ja Morant wants to be here. Two things can be true. I truly believe Ja Morant and his camp told Scoop B they want to be in Memphis. That's the right thing to say. They probably do want to be in Memphis because they know they can get away with buffoonery here in Memphis that you can't get away with in San Antonio, Miami, Dallas, literally anywhere else. But what are your thoughts, right? With everything, there's two sides to every story, and the truth is somewhere in the middle. McMahon's article is saying that Ja's been telling people across the league that he's done in Memphis. Scoop B's article said that he wants to stay in Memphis. Where do you land between those two? Are you one side versus the other, or are you more in the middle?
I feel like I'm more in the middle because like you said, two things can be true. Ja Morant can love the city of Memphis. Ja Morant can love living here. He started a family here, but it's different with the business side of it. Like you're a professional. You're a professional. It's different loving the city that you live in, and it may not be right with you from a professional sense. And that's why I feel like
Right.
Ja Morant is. Of course, we've seen reports where Scoop B and other guys have said that Ja Morant wants to be in a situation where he just simply wants to prove himself. Yes, he loves the city of Memphis, but clearly he may not have that opportunity here going into next year. So he wants to have an opportunity to prove himself and say the guys that want him to play his way and how Ja Morant likes to play basketball.
Yeah.
So those two things can be true. He may not want to move, but he understands when it comes from a basketball standpoint, his future is not in Memphis. And I feel like
Sure.
everyone, except the Ja losing is, have accepted that's the fact. So, like I said before, I hate to see it. You know, of course, I hopped off the Ja Morant train probably a little later than everyone else on the Blood City Media Network because I was trying to hold on to the rope as long as I can. But I just feel like all parties are just kind of came to terms with it's going to be a very very bad breakup. I want to say bad breakup. It's gonna be a breakup that's happening this summer. So
Yeah.
it's a matter of time at this point.
I couldn't agree more. And Ja Morant says all the right things. He says, I want to be here. I've got a logo tattooed on my back. That should tell you everything you need to know. But like, if somebody words only go so far. People have to prove who they are, prove what their medal is, prove what they're about. And if you look at Ja Morant's performance on the court, off the court, there hasn't been anything proven to me that he wants to play. You know, there's rumors and stuff of like a wide range about his on and off the court behavior, locker room malcontent, all the things that we don't need confirmation of. You can see that spill over on the court. I was out, for me, the breaking of the dam moment, I was in Ja Morant's corner until I was in the building on Halloween night when he quit on this team. In the most mentally soft thing I've ever seen. You get held accountable at halftime. Evan, you're an athlete. I was an athlete. I had coaches that would crack down and yell at me and come down on me hard. Like, to me, and I'm sure for you as well, that brings out that next level. Like, hey, I'm going to go prove him wrong. I'm going to go prove that I can do this. What did Ja do? He stood in the corner holding his shorts and pouting like a petulant child. And I'm not trying to be aggressive because I'm not mad at the guy. I love Ja Morant as a person. I love what he's done for this franchise and for this city and for our basketball team, Evan. But his actions definitely spoke contrary to what his words are saying. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, 100%. I believe it was Sane's episode with Scooby that Scooby said that he believes and people within the franchise believe Ja Morant is, if he wants to go out and play basketball tomorrow, he could have played basketball tomorrow. But it was contrary rumors where it was Ja Morant saying he doesn't want to play or the franchise not allowing him to play. It's a lot of things through that weeds. But I still think that if Ja Morant said, hey, bump y'all, I want to play basketball tomorrow because I love my teammates, I love the city of Memphis, yada, 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 we would have seen Ja Morant play the second half of the year in some capacity. You know, you wouldn't see the things where he's throwing up the deuces to everybody on the way out. You wouldn't see the antics like him praying up to the rafters. Like, I get like he's a very expressive guy, but I feel like that's a little more performative than what it really. They just I don't know about you, but I see that as a little performative. So I don't really like those kind of outward things because I'm not gonna call Ja Morant a liar. Like, he doesn't love the city of Memphis, but I feel like being that he is the big man on campus in the franchise, if he legitimately wanted to play basketball, I feel like we would have seen him at another time because his excuse was he couldn't make a cross-court rap pass with his elbow, and that's what bothered me. I really feel like if that was the problem, I really think he could have played. Like, he could have played if he really wanted to. So yeah, it's just we've been on this up and down seesaw thing where actions don't mean up with words for the entire season, really for the past 3 seasons with Ja Morant, unfortunately. So that's why we believe it's just time to just not mend the bridge, but the opposite of mend the bridge, just break it off. Just keep it there. So a clean break, if that's an A Cuff coming in or a Wilson or a Fleming, like whoever these guys in that come in, hopefully we have a star that's completely bought in. So we don't have a Halloween situation ever again. Because like you said, that was for you and a lot of the Grizzlies fans, that was the waving the white flag for y'all. And I can't blame y'all at all for having that because you can be disgruntled with a coach all day and not liking the management. But it's a different thing quitting on the guys, four or five of the guys that you're on the court with every night.
Yeah.
And it's hard to come back from that.
That's it. You quit on the name on the front of your jersey. And I will always support that. Listen, like my favorite athlete of all time is Zach Randolph. I supported Zach Randolph. When he left, I still supported the franchise. It's well known in a lot of circles. I stand for Jaren probably harder than most anybody on this network and wanted him to stay. But he's now gone for the Jazz, and I'm still repping Memphis on my head and, on my chest. Like I'm a Memphis guy through and through. This idea that Ja Morant leaving and the franchise needs to go ahead and sell or move or tank or whatever, like, is asinine. Like we were fine before Ja Morant. We'll be fine after Ja Morant. Like we just want guys who want to be here and want to play. I want an Anthony Edwards to where when Chris Finch is telling him to pass the ball, he's like, nah, F it. This is what I do. And he's taking a 40-foot three to win a game.
Consistent.
He's like,
double team. Didn't care.
I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
After the game, like the coach probably was right, but this was my shot. This is what I do. Like that's what I need on this team. And instead, those two guys were kind of neck and neck for face of the NBA status. Ja decided to go one direction and Ant has gone another. And, I can put up with a bunch of DM and OnlyFans models and stuff that Ant does with that type of production. I put up with a lot from Ja Morant. And appreciate everybody being here in the comments real quick as well. King Meek says folks are going crazy on X. Jared says it's already kind of gone sideways. I defended Ja on Twitter and on socials and on shows for years and years. But there comes a point where somebody's true colors are eventually going to wear on you. And, when he leaves, he takes a large portion of this fan base with him, we'll be better off because I fully blame Ja. Exactly. Have a good one.
Yeah.
I fully blame Ja Morant for breaking our fan base's brain because everybody's like, there's still a huge, there's a loud minority that's still on his side and saying we got to choose Ja over ZK and the franchise and all this. I was having debates yesterday about Joe Dumars as a GM over Zach Kleiman, which is asinine. Like 18 years ago, like, you're dealing with a clown if that's what you're talking about. And it broke a lot of our fan base's brain. And so, Evan, I think you're right. A clean break is needed so we can hit reset. John, his camp can hit reset. And listen, I hope he goes and he's successful wherever he goes, except for when they play Memphis. I'll never root ill or wish ill on the guy. But at some point, we got to cut bait.
Yeah, we do. It's just, I was thinking about this when we were talking, and it's when you put it in a relationship standpoint, it's kind of wild. The 21-22 season when I was graduating high school, right? It's 2026. I'm about to graduate college. That's a very toxic relationship and that has not improved in 4 years. I think you have to have that breakup and just move on. When I thought about it, like, wow, that's been 4 years since we've had like a promising season without like a bunch of BS going on. So it's like when you put it like that, like it's just time to move on and hopefully hit that hard reset button, like you said.
We've all had those relationships in our life, whether it be romantic or friendship or family or professional, where it starts off really great. There's so much promise. And then over time, you kind of start seeing signs and it just starts going downhill. And somebody has to be the adult in the room and just say, hey, this isn't working out anymore. Ja Morant has proven he can't be the adult in the room. And for all Zach Kleiman's flaws, when it's time to cut bait, he cuts bait. And so I think
maybe too late. He does it too late sometimes. But he does. Yeah. But
when he makes up his mind, it's over. And so as much as y'all want to, wail and whine and gnash your teeth on Twitter, he is basically gone.